You know, at some point, we really need to go kill a dragon. I mean, that's kind of what Skyrim is all about, right? Well, I mean, aside from the mandatory standing out in front of shops until morning, waiting to unload your stuff, and then running around picking flowers, and then sneaking around picking more flowers and stabbing bandits in the back, and of course going to caves filled with zombies and killing all of them. And if they're not zombies, then killing caves full of mages or vampires, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I know you have a lot of that, but really, when it comes down to it, it's all about dragons, right? And we haven't killed one yet, so I think we're overdue. I think it's about that time. First, we need to go give Farengar his dragonstone back. May even get a peek at one little lady who's going to be a major player in the story later. Of course, no one felt us grabbing the dragonstone was important enough to stay up all night, so they all went to bed. I guess we'll have to wait till morning and see if they'll show up for work. And I guess not. Alright, well, that's fine. We'll just go disenchant some stuff then. How about that?
See? The terminology is clearly First Era or even earlier. I'm convinced this is a copy of a much older text.
Yep, there's our peek at
Perhaps
Delphine.
dating to just after the Dragon War. If so, I could use this to cross-reference the names with other later texts.
Good. I'm glad you're making progress. My employers are anxious to have some tangible answers.
Oh, have no fear. The Jarl himself has finally taken an interest, so I'm now able to devote most of my time to this research.
Time is running, Farengar, don't forget. This isn't some theory. Dragons have come back.
Yes, don't worry. Although the chance to see a living dragon up close would be tremendously valuable. Now, let me show you something else I found. Very intriguing. I think your employers may be interested as well.
Okay, so while Farengar is over there bumping his suckers, I guess we'll sit over here and disenchant some stuff and enchant some other stuff. And these are things that I crafted and just garbage that I happen to have on hand. Might as well spend some of these little petty gems on them and make some stuff for myself, actually. Although I'm not going to spend a grand soul gem yet. Wondering where I got that. I basically traded for it.
Bob! Ah, the dragonstone of Bleak Falls Barrow. Seems you are a cut above the usual brutes the Jarl sends my way. That is where your job ends and mine begins. The work of the mind, sadly undervalued in Skyrim. My associate here will be pleased to see your handiwork. She discovered its location by means she has so far declined to share with me. So your information was correct after all. And we have our friend here to thank for recovering it for us.
You went into Bleak Falls Barrow and got that? Nice work. Just send me a copy when you've deciphered it.
Farengar, you need to come at once. A dragon's been sighted nearby. You should come too.
A dragon? How exciting. Where was it seen? What was it doing?
I'd take this a bit more seriously if I were you. If the dragon decides to attack Whiterun, I don't know if we can stop it.
Alright, so Delphine's going to ninja her way out of here, and, I guess ask and you shall receive. If you want a dragon, well, we get a dragon. Alright, very cool.
So, Irileth tells me you came from the Western Watchtower?
Yes, my lord.
Tell him what you told me about the dragon.
Oh, that's right. We saw it coming from the south. It was fast. Faster than anything I've ever seen.
What did it do? Is it attacking the Watchtower?
No, my lord. It was just circling overhead when I left. I never ran so fast in my life. I thought it would come after me, for sure.
Good work, son. We'll take it from here. Head down to the barracks for some food and rest. You've earned it. Irileth, you'd better gather some guardsmen and get down there.
I've already ordered my men to muster near the main gate.
Good. Don't fail me. There's no time to stand on ceremony, my friend. I need your help again. I want you to go with Irileth and help her fight this dragon. You survived Helgen, so you have more experience with dragons than anyone else here. But I haven't forgotten the service you did for me in retrieving the dragonstone for Farengar. As a token of my esteem, I have instructed Avenici that you are now permitted to purchase property in the city. And please, accept this gift from my personal armory.
should come along. I would very much like to see this dragon.
No. I can't afford to risk both of you. I need you here working on ways to defend the city against these dragons.
As you command.
One last thing, Irileth. This isn't a death or glory mission. I need to know what we're dealing with.
Don't worry, my lord. I'm the very soul of caution.
I'll tell you what, if Farengar is what I think he might be, at the least, a little bit of an informant for the Thalmor, if not just a direct agent,
I envy you the chance to
in and of
see the
himself,
dragon.
he's more than welcome to come take an up-close and personal look at this dragon as far as I'm concerned. You know what, let me go ahead and disenchant whatever I was just given, assuming I... Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Very good. The more that stuff raises so fast.
Divine smile on you, friend. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
I'm glad you think we're buddies. What's good about him is he's like right here next to the enchanting table, right? Well, he usually has a pretty good stock of gems, and other than weapons, he will basically buy anything enchanted of yours, including stuff that you've just enchanted. Not just rings and necklaces, but I believe like armor pieces and clothing and stuff like that too. You can find a regular old pair of tattered shoes or something, or, you know, beggar's pants, trousers or something. It doesn't matter. And if you can enchant it, he will essentially buy it. And you'll, of course, get the value of the enchantment at least. But he'll have a good stock of gems. And so if you want to pawn off all your garbage gems on gear that you've either found or crafted, and then you can sell them to him and trade him, essentially. You know, once he runs out of money, then just, you know, buy a few of his gems until you've run out of money, then sell him stuff back till you get all of his money back, and just go back and forth like that, and usually restock on better gems. Like, I don't know about you guys, but early on, I don't really like to enchant anything that I'm going to be using with anything less than a common gem early in the game, because I don't like my item running out of charges in like 2 minutes. I mean, that gets annoying. I don't like getting notified every 2 seconds that I have no charge left in my weapon, and so on and so forth, like in the middle of combat and stuff. So, anyway. Plus, not to mention the fact is having a charge in your weapon is for combat, and running out in the middle of combat, well, that's not good. So, anyway, regardless, common soul gems are all right early, you know, but obviously much prefer greater or grand soul gems. Be a point later, especially when you start dual enchanting all your items and stuff. Yeah, well, you're not going to want to mess with anything but grand soul gems. Good thing is, with Dwemer caves around, there should not be any shortage of soul gems whatsoever.
I don't much care
They-
where it came from or
They
who
drop
sent
like
it.
candy in there.
What I do know is that it's made the mistake of attacking Whiterun.
With house cards, how can we fight a dragon? Beggar.
That's a fair question. None of us have ever seen a dragon before, or expected to face one in battle.
nothing.
But we are honor-bound to fight it, even if we fail. This dragon is threatening our homes,
I
our
work
families.
with my mother. Sell fruits
You
and
call
vegetables.
yourselves Nords
It's
if
fun
you
most
brand on
days.
this monster?
Hard work.
Are you going to let me face this thing alone?
No, house card.
But it's more than
Few
our honor
seconds
at
for my
stake here.
supper is all
Think
I
of it. The first dragon seen in Skyrim since the last age. The glory of killing it is ours, if you're with me. Now what do you say? Shall we go kill us a dragon?
Yeah.
Damn
Yeah.
The guards in
Let's
Dragon
move out.
Street say you aided the Jarl. On behalf of Whiterun, I thank you.
You know, I was thinking, this is keeping like Dragon Age franchise in mind, is with Dragon Age franchise, once that's why the Grey Wardens are needed, is to essentially do away with an archdemon, which is, you know, in the form of a high dragon, right? Which would be like the embodiment of an old god or something. And then once they're gone, they're essentially gone. That's why there's not a blight every other week. If the Darkspawn could do that, they probably would. But there's something of a shortage of old gods to go around, so, you know, it takes a while to go muster up another one and well, start a blight and what have you. But once the old god is gone, from what I understand, the taint in that Grey Warden kind of negates the old gods or something. I don't know exactly how all that works. But anyway, that seems to be the gist of it. And I guess once you run out of old gods, well, no more blights or something, or then it'd be the end of time and some new revelation or something in the Dragon Age universe or what have you. I don't know. But with that in mind, in Skyrim you have named dragons. And then you have the random ones, and I don't think they're so lazy with lore to just make random dragons just so you'll have dragon fodder to feed your shouts as you learn them, right? Because, I mean, you have to absorb a dragon soul to learn each shout, so they have to give you at least some number of dragons to kill to do that. And they're essentially unlimited. You know, you have the ancient dragons, elder dragons, frost dragons, just regular dragons, you know. But then you have the named ones like Parthenax, Mirmulnir, who we're about to fight here. Alduin, you know, obviously, in the game, right? Alduin being the chief bad guy or whatever. You have the named dragons, and once they're gone, then what? Is there really just no more dragons, or are these all the mother dragons? Now, Alduin doesn't sound like a mother dragon, but Mephala doesn't sound like a prince either, as far as that goes. Or Azura, she doesn't sound like a prince, or he doesn't, whatever, I don't know. I don't know how all that works, so, looking at this, perhaps, these named dragons or these high dragons are the ones that spawn the others, or something, I don't know. I mean, we'll learn later exactly how at least a lot of these named dragons are coming back around, okay? That becomes sort of part of the story, basically. But, still, I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Like, where does it end? Or, is this something that is supposed to occur every so often? But then you have the prophecies concerning our whole role here as the Dragonborn and what part we play in, you know, history, or what part we play in the future, I guess you could say. Well, it's history in hindsight, but you know, we're kind of written into the whole dragon lore here. But then once that's done, all right, if it's not the end of all things, then what's after that? A whole new era to be foretold at the beginning and then played out and so on and so forth? I mean, I guess. I don't know. Just, you know, getting all off into metaphysical and spiritual stuff and what have you, but I was just thinking, you know, with the actual named dragons themselves, and that it takes a dragonborn to actually absorb their soul to keep them dead, that once they are dead, well, then what? You know? If you finish off all of them, then what do you have? I guess some news cycle would have to start. History does tend to repeat itself, so I don't know. Alright, so let's get to the task at hand. We got old Mirmulnir lips here. Breathing fire on everybody. Did some work on this tower too, didn't he? I guess for a tutorial dragon, he's not just a pushover. He's able to take some damage and put out some damage. Maybe it's because we're a little higher level now. He probably scales with us, I guess. Seems like he might just be he might go down a little bit faster earlier levels, but right now he's making his presence known. Oh wow, look at the big dust storm when he takes off. Okay, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. One thing about this dragon, sometimes he'll get into it's like a roar glitch or a loop where he like, uh-oh, well, I think that person's gone. You know, I'm thinking if he were to do that to Uthgerd, she could probably take it. I couldn't. I'd be dead before I left his mouth, or her mouth, or whatever. Curious who's shooting the lightning bolts. I guess that's Irilith, using a basic lightning magic there. I guess so. I would think that lightning is kind of a blanket, good for everything type of spell, except for maybe a Storm Atronach. Other than that, I think I discussed this in another video. Other than that, I can't really think of any other enemies that are immune or really resistant to lightning. It's kind of affected against just about everything, just about all the dragons. I've never seen a lightning-based dragon that I can think of. I believe there's some dragons that use something of a spirit lightning-looking type attack in this. I hope I'm not confusing this with Dragon Age too much. Seems like there is that type of thing, but their overall breath attacks seem to basically just be frost or fire. For the most part. Anyway. So I'm thinking lightning will probably be effective against all dragon types and almost all enemies. Oh, there he is. Yeah, hear the roar loop there? Somebody must have hit him really, really hard or something. He didn't like that at all. I can't really take a hit of anything from this guy. A wing flap in and of itself, you know, if he just were to nudge me with his wing, that probably almost one-shot me. His fire breath will take me out almost instantly. If not instantly. A bite, if he were to pick me up and grab me, that would be over. Like I say, before I even leave his mouth. Probably the second shake of his head, I'd be dead. And it would be embarrassing on top of that. Picking somebody else up. These Whiterun guards are catching the brunt of this, aren't they? Uthgerd, what I love about her, you can even hear her when she's talking, and she's like, friggin' dragon. She will go toe-to-toe with a dragon. She is such a badass. And her ability to go toe-to-toe and take all that fire to the face and the bites and all that is what keeps us on our feet, essentially. If she can hold his hate, her hate, whatever, if she can hold the dragon's hate, then we're good. No. Wow. Whew, that was close. Okay, like I say, almost instantly. Almost instant. Good example of the damage differential here. Lower difficulties, you at least get a bit of warning. You at least, you know, get some kind of buffer. Your health doesn't just evaporate. It, you know, you can at least kind of see it moving. Instead of it just alive 1 second, next second, you're dead. Did we get it? Yeah, we're good. Okay, now this right here, I want to correct myself. I want to say how wrong I was. I had mentioned earlier, in comparison to like Fallout 3 and Oblivion, but being by the same people, the same style of game, same makers and everything, is that you don't have that wow moment in Skyrim like you did when leaving the vault or leaving the sewers in those two games, right? But I was kind of wrong. This right here, absorbing your first dragon soul, is kind of like that wow moment, but it's Skyrim's version of that wow moment. It's a little later in the game, depending on when you actually do this in your story, or when you ever kill your first dragon, whether it's this one or some other dragon somewhere else. Regardless, this is that wow moment. That's what I would compare it to. It's got the same kind of feels like that. You know, you hear the wind rushing and you absorb this power, and now you can fuel this shout where you can speak like a dragon. It's pretty cool. I mean, pretty cool, especially for the first time when you first experiencing that. It's similar, different, completely different, but at the same time similar to stepping out of the vault or something. You see what I'm saying?
In the very oldest tales, back from when there were still dragons in Skyrim, the Dragonborn would slay dragons and steal their power. That's what you did, isn't it? Absorb the dragon's power.
Sure. Yeah, that's it. That's it exactly.
Way to find out. Try to shout. That would prove it. According to the old legends, only the Dragonborn can shout without training, the way the dragons do.
That is some of my favorite music in the background right there, by the way. Okay, well, let me fumble through my menus and try to remember how to set this thing. All right, here we go. What? With authority.
Those born with the dragon blood in them, like old Tiber Septim himself.
I've never heard of Tiber Septim killing any dragons.
There weren't any dragons then, idiot. They're just coming back now for the first time in forever. But the old tales tell of the Dragonborn who could kill dragons and
Am I the only one that thinks that he sounds a bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger right there? There were no dragons, you idiot. It's awesome. Sorry.
Dragonborn business?
Some of you would be better off keeping quiet than flapping your gums on matters you don't know anything about.
Get to the chopper.
Here's a dead dragon.
Get down.
And that's something I definitely understand. Now we know we can kill them. But I don't need some mythical dragonborn. Someone who can put down a dragon is more than enough for me.
You wouldn't understand, Housecar. You ain't a gnome.
I've been all across Tamriel. I've seen plenty of things just as outlandish as this. I'd advise you all to trust in the strength of your sword arm over tales and legends.
That was shouting, what you just did. Must be. You really are Dragonborn, then.
That was the hairiest fight I've ever been in, and I've been in more than a few. I don't know about this Dragonborn business, but I'm sure glad you're with us. You better get back to Whiterun right away. Jarl Balgruuf will want to know what happened here.
You sure took care of that dragon. Dragonborn or not, that's good enough for me.
I can't believe we actually killed a dragon.
Okay, like that whole series there, that whole sequence, the whole scene was just cool, man. Slay a dragon, absorb its soul. Able to shout. True enough, we only shout like a baby dragon right now. Okay, little foos here and there. That's about it. But later on, we'll be shouting dragons up in their face, knocking their grills off with our foos rodas and all that other good stuff. Can't wait to get the Mark of Death. The one thing, man, if I had a mod, you know, if I had one mod for the game, if anyone's ever heard the shout for detect life, right, where you can detect, you know, anything essentially living in a certain area, and I think that area gets bigger the more shouts you unlock for that particular, more words you unlock for that particular shout. The way that sounds, it's like this hiss. That should be the Mark of Death shout. The way it sounds, oh man, I would change that, because it's wicked. It's like you say something, it almost sounds like you're chanting, and it just sounds evil. It's badass. It should be the Mark of Death shout. If I get them both, I'll compare them, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Like when I heard it, I'm like, why didn't they make this the Mark of Death to sound like you're just cursing someone down to their bone marrow, you know? All right, so there we go. Ground shaking, earthquaking event. What's this?
Your hands only. Let's see here. A letter. Not sure who from. It wouldn't say.
Oh, I know what this probably is.
Looks
Okay,
like that's it. Got to go.
this guy who will find you for various other things, Dark Brotherhood, namely, but when you use your shouts just out randomly fighting in a dungeon or something like that, you'll get a notice, and it will send you to a new word. One of a couple different ways they send you to new shouts. First, you have the dragon walls that just pop up around the landscape, and you'll know you can always find one there. It'll actually have a little dragon symbol, but then the main Greybeard dude up there at High Hrothgar, he will let you know where they've uncovered a new shout, and it'll usually send you to a random cave or dungeon and stuff that you might not otherwise have found or explored, so that's always cool. And then you have this guy, this messenger, and he'll randomly come and find you. See, we have our crack dealers at the main gate, and I'll never get rid of them. Wish there was a mod to kill them off. I wonder if when I become a werewolf, I could just go find them. Huh, that's a thought. That'd get rid of them. Okay, I may actually try to do that. Might go find that one dude, that real arrogant dude walking around asking us if we've been to the Cloud District. Well, of course you haven't. Oh yeah? Okay.
There's been talk amongst the gods.
Wait till I get the frothy werewolf lips. Take a bite out of your ass.
Surely that's not.
Maybe go find him wandering around town too. That'd be great. Solve all my problems with one werewolf. Okay, sorry. I'm just dreaming now. I know. All right. So let's go let him know what happened. Our epic adventure.
Good. You're finally here. The Jarl's been waiting for you.
Actually get a little bit of lore here. It's pretty
You
cool.
heard the summons. What else could it mean? The Greybeards.
We were just talking about you. My brother needs a word with you.
So what happened at the watchtower? Was the dragon there? I knew I could count on Irileth, but there must be more to it than that. true. The Greybeards really were summoning you. Masters of the Way of the Voice. They live in seclusion high on the slopes of the throat of the world. The Dragonborn is said to be uniquely gifted in the voice, the ability to focus your vital essence into a thum, or shout. If you really are Dragonborn, they can teach you how to use your gift.
Didn't you hear the thundering sound as you returned to Whiterun? That was the voice of the Greybeards, summoning you to High Hrothgar. This hasn't happened in centuries, at least. Not since Tibeseptim himself was summoned when he was still Talos of Atmora.
Hrongar, calm yourself. What does any of this Nord nonsense have to do with our friend here? Capable as she may be, I don't see any signs of her being this, what, Dragonborn.
Nord nonsense? Why, you puffed up ignorant. These are our sacred traditions that go back to the founding of the First Empire.
Hrongar, don't be so hard on Avenici.
I meant no disrespect, of course. It's just that, what do these Greybeards want with her?
That's the Greybeards' business, not ours. Whatever happened when you killed that dragon, it revealed something in you, and the Greybeards heard it. If they think you're Dragonborn, who are we to argue? You'd better get up to High Hrothgar immediately. There's no refusing the summons of the Greybeards. It's a tremendous honor. I envy you, you know, to climb the 7,000 steps again. I made the pilgrimage once. Did you know that? High Hrothgar is a very peaceful place. Very disconnected from the troubles of this world. I wonder that the Greybeards even notice what's going on down here. They haven't seemed to care before. No matter. Go to High Hrothgar. Learn what the Greybeards can teach you. You've done a great service for me and my city, Dragonborn. By my right as Jarl, I name you Thane of Whiterun. It's the greatest honor that's within my power to grant. I assign you Lydia as a personal housecarl, and this weapon from my armory to serve as your badge of office. I'll also notify my guards of your new title. Wouldn't want them to think you're part of the common rabble, now would we? We are honored to have you as Thane of our city, Dragonborn. Back to business, Proventus. We still have a city to defend.
Yes, my lord.
I'm so angry, I can hardly stand it.
In a world of fools, you stand out above the rest. Here, take this small sign of my friendship.
You have to be patient. But I don't want to be patient.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend.
All you ever
Well, in the old tales, the Dragonborn heroes would use the power of their voice to defeat the enemies of Skyrim. Wolfhearth was Dragonborn. Talos too, the founder of the Empire. Back in the good old days. In the very oldest tales, back from when there still were dragons in Skyrim, the Dragonborn would slay dragons and steal their power. They're the masters of the way of the voice, of shouting. They live up on top of the throat of the world. If you're really Dragonborn, they'll want to talk to you. In the old stories, they always summon the Dragonborn for training. If it's the war you're referring to, I'm on the side of Whiterun. No doubt General Tullius and his friends in the Empire will tell you that I owe them my loyalty. And perhaps I do. Ulfric Stormcloak would say that I owe my allegiance to the Nord people as they fight for Skyrim's independence. Perhaps this is also true. The day might come when I am forced to draw my sword for one side or the other. But that day has not come yet. No doubt, he thought it was the only way to make his point. And also, because he knew he could. With good planning and constant vigilance. Even now, my court wizard, Farengar, continues his research into ways we might drive back these terrors. We must also have ample reserves of water to combat the fires that will surely spread after an attack. But our greatest weapon? Courage. For if we cannot kill the beast, we must at least have the tenacity to drive it back. Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters, that is the best we can do. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep.
Yeah, actually, Balgroof is going to make a mistake in his decision where he actually places his loyalty. Let's go see if we can disenchant anything new. Anything? Anything? Ah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. And we're going to use that anyway. Certainly take that enchantment, though. Go ahead and drop a point into raising the damage of our fire enchantments. We can probably afford to sink a point into all those, honestly. Fire and frost and lightning. I don't know, we'll decide if we're even going to use frost and lightning. I'm sure we will. I tend to like frost. I think lightning may be my favorite anyway.
It's an honor to serve you.
Everyone's favorite? Lydia.
The Jarl has recognized you as a person of great importance in the Hold. A hero. The title of Thane is an honor. A gift for your service. Guards will know to look the other way if you tell them who you are. As my Thane, I'm sworn to your service. I'll guard you and all you own with my life. Until next time.
Lydia, who's so pretty that you can overlook the fact that she really doesn't like you, doesn't want to really carry your stuff.
Balgrup and I
stands in doorways on purpose and sets off traps for you.
And forged our friendship in the fires of war. When he became Jarl, I insisted on serving as his protector. He had no cause to argue. Gods, you are curious. Almost dangerously so. I am charged with protecting the Jarl from any and all threats. Powerful men have many enemies, more so in times of strife, so you can imagine the dangers. Oh yes, there have been attempts on the Jarl's life. More than one would-be assassin has met his end at the tip of my blade. Take your pick. Dragons, Stormcloak assassins, ambitious and unscrupulous nobles. Sometimes I think his own children want him dead. And those are just the physical threats. Assaults on his sanity are another matter entirely. Every day he deals with obsequious functionaries and incompetent bureaucrats. Sadly, I'm not allowed to eliminate them. Well, not yet anyway. I've got my eyes on you.
She reminds me a bit of Aeroshock from Dragon Age 2. I don't know why, but she does.
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's trade. I need more experience.
What's the hurry?
Alright. Well, we could head to High Hrothgar. Well, the world's open to us now. We can just go pretty much do what we want to do. Lots of different things, but I'm thinking High Hrothgar. I don't know. First, I will probably go mess around with a little potion making, take whatever ingredients I've got, break them down, make potions, eat them, sell them, whatever. Got some dragon bones and scales to sell. You know, all that good stuff. Do a little bit of that. And I think we will make our way towards High Hrothgar, but there's there's about 1,000 things to distract you along the way, so
It's fun most days.
we do need to get Amren's sword. Oh, we need to do Halted Stream Camp. That we definitely need to go there. There's a spell that I want, the one that allows you to transmute the mineral ore and stuff.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often?
So there you have it. Okay, so we kind of do have our work set out. Why don't we go to Halted Stream Camp? Then we'll just make our way to High Hrothgar and just see where the world takes us. You know what I mean? And that, my friends, really is kind of what it's all about. Just to see where the game takes you. What's her face? Carlotta, what? There she is. Can't remember we kicked that bard's ass for her.
Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for... Really? You convinced that lute player to stop chasing me? I'd thank the gods, but I'll settle for thanking you. Here's some coin for your help.
Ah, these little rewards are becoming substantial. Make them actually worth doing now. Higher level you get, the more money you get for doing things. All right. Thanks for watching, and all right, well, we'll head out on the next one. If you want to subscribe, click that button there up top, and if you want to catch the rest of this Let's Play, I can't even talk, then click that image there in the middle. All right, y'all take care. Bye-bye.